How about that? Better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Mine said muted for a minute there. I didn't know what was going on. Thank you all for coming. We like to call the meeting to order, and I just lost my, I had my agenda up and it just flew away. Do you want to take attendance?
Yes.
Okay, go for
Robert
it.
Blank,
Darn, I needed to
Walter Brito,
Here.
Kathleen Marie Clark.
thought she's here. She's muted.
She's here. Bill
Yep.
DeMayo,
Here.
Melanie Pampoulis.
Here.
Melanie's here, right?
Yep.
Yep, I'm here.
Joe Dubin. Diane Durant,
Here.
Michael Fox,
Here.
Eileen Francolino,
Here.
me, Gail Kelly, Anna Kubish. Kathy, you said is resigning, right?
Yes.
Geraldine Nagel, Allison Smith, Nancy Mankey,
Here.
Kathleen Sullivan, Tom Tallard, Max Turgeon.
Here.
That's
We're
10.
good? All righty. Perfect. I would like to ask that if you are going to participate tonight, please state your name first so everybody knows who is speaking. Okay, do we have minutes to
I submitted the minutes.
I don't have them. I don't know. Okay, well, we don't have minutes to approve. I don't know where they ended up. Okay, and there's nobody here from the public that needs to participate?
Nobody on at this time.
Okay, and remarks from committee members on public participation, we can skip. Okay, so we need somebody to speak about the calendar. That's the next thing on the agenda.
That's Kathy Clark.
I will speak on the calendar. The calendar, the final version of the calendar is at the printer. I'm going to look at the proof on Tuesday. And if there's nothing wrong with it, it's a go to print 250 copies. We also have a letter composed by Diane and me that is going to get, once we know everything is fine, that is going to be sent to each participant, each person who won is going to be sent by email. We are giving each person who won a free calendar and a tote bag and some soda. We are also designing a poster that Image Inc. is going to print for included in everything else that will feature a different thing than the cover and will have information. I've been back and forth with Mel, and she's going to get an order form going. So we're exchanging information so that the poster has what I need about the order form and the order form has what she needs about the rest of the information.
Sounds good.
Susan,
How
for
much-
the
how
record,
much was each
Allison
calendar?
Just arrived at 6:38.
Who arrived? I'm sorry.
Allison?
Okay, thank you.
Eileen, can you still hear me?
Yes.
The thing we'd like to walk away from is the way to distribute the calendars that are going to go to the winners. I'm going to hand deliver them in a COVID safe manner. However, we need a system to, I think, pick up the ones that people order and have a drive-by type thing like the daffodil bulbs. So I think that we'd like to walk away with a date for that and see, do we have enough people to help do that?
Okay. How much time do you need, like leeway wise? I have no idea.
Well, we talked about in the letters going back and forth between me and Diane, I think we talked about early November. Because again, I'll look at his version on Tuesday and it takes about a week to print. So I assume that doesn't include the weekends. And so, in other words, do we put the information we've got to get the information out there that there's a calendar, they're going to be $15 a piece. We're not going to have any two for the price of anything, to make it easier to order. And so we also have to do some advertising. And Diane has written a blurb that's going to go into all of the Facebook sites and any place else we can think of, hopefully anywhere on town website. Will the library distribute anything? Will any of the organizations in town? I know Chamber of Commerce indicated willingness to put it on their site, but any input that anyone has, that would be wonderful. So I guess we have to kind of look, how long will it take to, so I'd like everybody's input for this. Let's say, okay, I got a stack of calendars. We have a system in place to, this hasn't happened yet, but stack of calendars, system in place to order the calendars, need to advertise. How much time pulling all those things together until people need to drive through? And I think we might need 2 pickup dates, maybe one in early November and maybe one in early December, right before Christmas. Just throwing that out, or do you wait till, I mean, you don't want people you want people to order them, but you don't want them dribbling in later and already have had your drive-through. So I love everybody's feedback there.
Can
How
I
much-
say something? Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Sorry, Eileen. This is Susan. Well,
Yes.
the first Saturday in November is November 7th. Is that too early, Kathy?
I'm gonna say, I don't think so. I mean, advertising is instantaneous nowadays, right?
Yeah,
I think-
sure.
I think the least of our problems is actually getting the calendars in hand. So I'm going to pass that question on to Mel, who's operated sites like this before. What does Mel think?
I can get the site up by Monday. Now that
Whoa.
you sent me over great detail and pictures,
Okay,
just waiting on just maybe a couple sample pictures of the calendar, you know,
okay, we
so that they
get
can
those to
see
you.
what they're writing.
Yep.
But the blurbs and the writing that you sent over to me are perfect. I'll get that
Okay.
up with the 150th logo. And the ending information would be if you want to put in pickup date and, you know, where, but we can add that as we go.
That sounds good. I don't think it's going to take that long once we get it. So if that date works, I'd say we'll have calendars for sure. Mel thinks we'll have orders. And if we realize they're still dribbling in, I don't see a huge problem with doing it down the road. Does anybody?
Only if it snows.
Exactly. So, but closer to Christmas, there might be more people. We also talked about, obviously, there's all the people who have specifically ordered them. But I also wondered if, you know, we'll see. And either we're going to go, wow, we sold them all out, or we're going to go, oh, we only sold, 80. And then could people get in line to get one while supplies last?
I don't see why not. How much did you pay per calendar?
They're $8 a piece, our cost.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had to order more down the road, you only save, let's say we had ordered 500, they would have been $7.50 a piece. So I didn't think it was we decided on 250, which I think was a reasonable number.
Mhm.
But if we wanted to order more, we could order more at $8 a piece.
Yep. The drop off for the bulbs worked marvelously at the cemetery, except the problem is going to be is that it gets dark earlier now. Well, it will be by then, and we were in the dark. So I don't know if that's going to be the
Well,
ideal place to go, unless you want to do it on a Saturday morning.
I
think it
think a Saturday morning is what I was thinking of anyway, or even early Saturday afternoon. That time of year, you're going to have not a whole lot to be competing with, not that much outdoor stuff. Plus, there's so much stuff that's been canceled.
We'd have to go someplace else on a Saturday morning. You can't go in the cemetery because you never know if there's a funeral.
Sure. Okay.
So we'd have to find another spot.
Okay.
Got any ideas, Bill?
Churchill Park parking lot
Yep.
is a pretty good size.
Yep.
That's a possibility, but the cemetery, certainly if you did a 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I think you'd be in pretty good shape there.
Yeah,
If,
Oh.
so whatever you feel like.
okay.
Can I propose that we don't do the cemetery? I think it worked out fine. I just thought it was a little weird. Like some people were coming to like go see the cemetery, and I don't know. If there's somewhere else, I'd prefer to do somewhere else.
Okay, not a problem.
Okay,
We can
I
do
like-
Churchill Park, parking lot we'll do then. That's easy. Go in one door, turn around, go out the other. It's simple.
I like it.
Okay,
I just don't have the chapel gave us the bathrooms, the chairs, the tables, those
Yeah.
kinds of things. I wouldn't want to pay for a park guy to go.
no,
Let's see, what could I do? Well, we could probably hire a college kid with a truck or something and get what we need out there. So,
What do we need? What do we need to rent to be able to do that?
well,
gotta
you
go ahead.
need tables and chairs, I would guess, for the people, the volunteers.
I have tons of tables and chairs.
I could,
Okay.
I could get 3 or 4 tables and chairs from the firehouse and also use the service truck to bring them over.
Perfect. Okay.
Great.
Done
Yeah.
like dinner.
okay, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Mel.
the only thing is if there's rentals there for any reason, I just have to check to see if there's any soccer games. If
Oh.
that was the case, we would have to, pick a side or something like that. Just give some parking, you'll see the parking situation. Maybe if we used to do camp registration at the east end of the pond. So you go to the parking lot and right where the pond is in the parking lot, put your tables there and it'd be perfect.
Gotcha. And then you pull a UE in the parking lot, in the stone parking lot, and come back out, right?
You
Yeah.
could, or you could just go just go in, go to the tip of the pond and then go right out the other way. You don't even have to go to the stone parking lot.
East end of the pond. Okay. All right, we'll figure it out. That works. All right.
So November 7th, and what time do you want to do it?
Bill, this is Kathy Clark. What does not interfere with the soccer game?
Oh, it's hard to tell. It could be from 8 in the morning until 9 at night. So I would have to, once you tell me what time you'd want, we'd have to try to work it out with soccer.
I don't know. I'm not involved in that many weekend things. So I think it's, what do you think people will be fine for? I'm inclined to get it over with in a way, but if it's more busy there, are there more people just walking around the pond at 10 o'clock in the morning versus 2 o'clock in the afternoon? So I'm either thinking 10 to 12, 12 to 2, or 2 to 4.
I'd say my gut would tell me that 10 to 12 sounds like a good idea.
I agree.
Okay. So we'll put that in the advertising, and, again, if there had to be a change, I think we could disseminate that pretty easily. So,
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, wait until tomorrow, and when I get into the office, I can check the computer to see if there's anything already scheduled there.
that's fine, because I don't think we're that close. Again, Mel and I have been back and forth with, let's do this, let's do that. But yeah, I don't think we're so close that we need it tomorrow. Tomorrow is great.
Okay.
Okay, beautiful. All right, moving on to bulb giveaway. Thanks to all of you who came to help out. It was a big success. We're going to have a beautiful town. A lot of the bulbs were given away, and a lot more were planted around town this past weekend. Plant your bulbs, go buy some more. We're going to have a beautiful town for our celebration. That was a great hit. Special thanks to Parks and Rec. The website. Now you're gonna put the calendar on a website, or what's going to happen with that?
Well, I
I'm
think-
putting it on a website where they can pre-order the calendars, and the website accepts credit cards.
Okay.
It's not a website. It's just one page where it's called Give Butter, and I'll do 150th Town of Newington 150th calendar, and all the information will be there where they can place their order.
And you'll send me a copy of that so I can put it on our Facebook page and our website?
Correct, yeah. I should be able to print out in a flyer form after the website is, confirmed.
Okay,
Mhm.
perfect, nice. All right, moving on. Did somebody volunteer? Diane, did you volunteer to do the holiday ornament? Who volunteered? I didn't write. Who said that?
This is Susan Gibbons.
Okay, Susan, beautiful. Okay.
I volunteered to do that, but I am assuming that we're going to be doing this for next year, right? No? Am I under the wrong assumption?
Probably gonna have to, because I'm not sure we're gonna have a holiday this year, you know what I mean?
Right, I was thinking, yeah.
Either way, I mean, I think we could probably sell it both ways, you know what I mean? Like, given that it's December, it could be sold this year for next year, or you sell it next December as an end of the year thing. Whatever you want to do. I'm open for.
What does everybody else think? I just thought that I don't want to have to rush to
Yeah.
find something,
Yeah, I
you
get you.
know, I don't. So I'm thinking next year, but if anybody has a different opinion, that's, I'm more than willing to listen to what everybody has to say.
I agree with you. This is Nancy. For next year, and hopefully with everything opening up, we'll be able to sell it at other events.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking maybe, God willing, if it's, we have the extravaganza, we'll have a booth there, we could sell it there. I think.
Yep. I agree. Sounds
Jack,
good.
if I may, Jack Crowley, JC Productions or JC Specialties, they did our Christmas ornaments for building a strong community. If I could recall, it was something like $2.50, and we sold them for $5. And you can design anything you want. So if that helps you any, you can with him.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Bill.
All righty, moving on. Holiday ornament we did. Okay. Has somebody decided they would like to take over random acts of kindness and work on that, or do we have a chair? Going once, going twice. All right, how about the blood drive?
I'll do that.
The blood drive, Max?
No, not the blood drive. Bad memories.
Come on, Max, that was me and you. We did great.
We both almost fainted.
I didn't faint, I was fine.
Oh, you stood over me and they made you sit down.
All right, so you're gonna do the random acts of kindness, Max. Beautiful. Blood drive,
Yeah, Diane Durant volunteered for that.
beautiful. Okay,
And that's sometime next year. I assume you didn't want that this year.
no,
Yeah,
in the
okay.
spring sometime, hopefully
Yeah.
we can have it.
That I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. And as soon as I find out when the high school is doing it, maybe we could schedule it around that, and then we would get our 150 pints somehow, hopefully. I don't even know if they'll get to have it at the high school. Who knows? It's such a,
Right. I
Such a
figure
weird
we need to
thing.
wait and figure that out a little bit. So
okay. And the cemetery tour,
I'm Kathy Clark here. I'm going to talk about cemetery tour plus historical house tour. Jerry Nagel's having a hard time getting on, but I've been talking back and forth. I actually had a hard time trying to get a list of people buried in the cemetery. I'm also having second thoughts about being in the cemetery because it's really in pretty rough shape, and I'm afraid somebody's going to trip. So that being said, what Jerry and I came up with was a tour that has elements of both. This could be a walking tour, or it could be a driving tour. It would feature 5 places that are walkable from downtown Newington, and we would have characters at the places. So it would be the historical site. Nobody goes inside of anything. It is completely COVID friendly. We're talking about next spring. And the 5 places would be 944 Main Street and the green that goes with it. I would ask TJ if we could use the parking lot and have it be kind of an off time, like 2 to 4, something like that. The old fire station, the church and the cemetery as a place, not as, as a feature, the library and Mill Pond. I actually already have experienced actors who can provide their own costumes. At Mill Pond, the person doing that is an experienced carpenter, and he would talk about barrel stave making. And the other thing we thought is if we could get some of the other historic groups in town to partner, we would have our own standalone. Again, if you had plenty of energy, you could walk from one of these to the other. But if you wanted to drive, each place has enough parking for a few people to go at the same time. And again, there would be a costumed interpreter at each place, maybe two. But if we could get the Historical Society on board, the young farm people on board, and maybe the Sangerbund, just throwing that out. And they could also be having a similar 2-hour-long event that people could drive to tie in Newington history.
Sounds nice. I lost it on the Sangerbund. Are they a historical group?
Sure, they've been in town for 150 years. I'd say that qualifies.
Wow.
Yes, they have. And they have a lot of history in Newington, probably kind of more. It's been going on for over 150 years. The 150th anniversary was a few years ago. And the church is celebrating, as you know, I'm sure, their 300 next year, correct?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So in other words, instead of making the cemetery the focus, and we still, if this all works great, maybe we can do a cemetery tour, but I just ran into dead ends that I didn't expect as far as digging up the information. And also I never got anybody from the town to walk around the cemetery. But from what I hear, I have people complaining about the shape that it's in. So I think there's a long way to go before we get there. Churchill's another possibility. There's a lot of history about the Churchills and being there, but it's just not, I like the idea of being able to walk from one place to another, and just have it all be in together. So it's the same idea as a cemetery tour, except the cemetery is only one character in the thing, and it gets to celebrate downtown, and any downtown businesses could be, copied on it, and maybe encourage people to have lunch or snacks or something like that.
Yeah, perhaps they'd sponsor a piece of it or something like that. That would be a nice way to help them, help you, help whoever,
And excuse me, Jess. So again, that's another one. If we could, do we want to pick a date for that? And I was thinking April, but kind of based on, I know we have Mayor's Ball sitting there. And this would be something that would be COVID friendly, even if everything is the same then as it is now, God forbid.
Okay. Well, right now the Mayor's Ball is looking like April 30th.
Okay.
So, you're free to pick a date, whatever you think might work. I would pick 2 dates. I would pick a date and a rain date if I were you.
And I'll throw out to you, do we go into May, like 2 weeks into May? Are we better off going earlier, like 2 weeks backward into April? I don't know when Easter is. I don't know that we have to pick that right tonight, unless you want to just think about it until the next meeting.
I think we could put it off a pinch in terms of finding a date.
Okay.
And see what the weather, see what things, I think as we get closer to see what's going on with COVID and all of that. So this actually works out well, because I talked to people at the church, and they were thinking they'd run an event and sponsor the event themselves and make it a church event that was part of the 150th walking through the cemetery. So we can let them run with this, and you can run with your thing, and everybody's happily ever after. So that works out.
That sounds good. And looks like Easter is April 4th. Am I correct there?
I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
My calendar has a dot on the 1st, the 2nd, and the 4th. So that must be.
4th is correct.
Yeah, that must be Easter. Yes, it is. So the 4th. So you want to avoid that weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that sounds good. Why don't you and Geraldine talk a little bit, and maybe talk with the people of the Historical Society and see what works for them in terms of a date that would be good for all of you, and we can put that on the agenda for the next meeting. So that will be good. Okay, Mayor's Ball.
Can you hear me, Eileen? It's Gail.
Hi, Gail. How are you?
Okay, before you leave that topic, I had somebody contact me who was interested in having their house included in the house tour.
Okay.
So that, should I contact Kathleen to give her the person's name or what?
I would contact Geraldine, since she knows where. Do you know where the house is located?
Yes, it's on Main Street.
What number?
Close to the center?
Not that far from the center, right? It's, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's between Dowd and the center of town. It's
that sounds good. Yeah, I'll tell Jerry, but I'd have your friend contact Jerry.
Okay.
And I'll give her a heads up that your friend will contact her. I'm sure she'll be excited about that.
Okay, well, because as far as I know, well, I won't say it now, but I thought that the information had been given to her, and because the person called the Historical Society about it, because she thought that the Historical Society was doing the house tours.
No, as far as I know right now, Jerry's a member of the Historical Society, but the Historical Society, no one from the Historical Society has stepped up per se to be involved. We're hoping we can make that happen, but right now it's Jerry.
Okay, well, just so you know, Jerry is on the board of directors.
No, I know that.
Okay, and she volunteered to be the representative from the Historical Society to the 150th committee.
Right.
Correct. Totally aware of that. That's why we're working together.
Okay, well, but we haven't, obviously, because of everything with the COVID, we have not had any board meetings or, for months.
Gail?
Just as everyone else. So yes, I'm sorry.
Gail, it's Eileen.
Right.
Geraldine gave me a list of homes, historical homes around town that we were going to publish closer to the spring so that people could do a drive-by if they wanted to, take a look at them, maybe take a picture, do something, have some kind of little type contest, of I visited 20 houses, I visited 30 houses, not necessarily a tour of the houses, but just, okay, this is one of the oldest houses in town, because at this point we can't really plan on house tours because of COVID. So she gave me a list. We didn't put it up on the website yet, just because we weren't going to do that until the spring. Perhaps that could be in and around the same time as your event that you're planning here. It doesn't have to be the same day, but maybe in that same general area of time, we could put that together. Make sense?
And the other thing is this person very well might like to get involved in the committee or on some committee of, for it. She's a former teacher, and her husband is a former teacher as well. The husband.
Oh my goodness. Okay. That'd be great. Okay. You can put him in contact with me, whoever,
I'll call you, Eileen, and
okay,
give you the information. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Moving on to the mayor's ball. We're in contact with a caterer that we thought we would like to use, but he's not available because everybody has rescheduled their wedding. So we're looking for a caterer. We might be able to use this guy if we have it on a Friday night instead of a Saturday night. We're looking around May 1st, April 30th, somewhere in there. Bill, you got anything else that you want to report on that?
Yes, I did want to go back to your last topic back to Kathy, I believe. If Mill Pond is part of your stop, one of your 5 stops, please take a peek at our schedule too, because every weekend there's something going on at Mill Pond. So we would just have to coordinate it so that they take whatever section of space Kathy needs. We'd have to make sure it fits. That's all.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Bill. It would be, and I can talk to you more about it later, but we were just envisioning probably near one of the bridges. And I don't think it would be very much space at all, because I'm just envisioning small groups, 3 or 4 people coming at a time, like in a continuous way, not like, hi, I'm going to be talking about something at 1 o'clock. So it would be a pretty small contingent, but that's the area. So I'll send you an email with a little more what we're thinking about.
Sure, no problem.
Down
Great.
below by the falls would be pretty, because it would make for nice pictures, and you're by the factory where the barrel stapes were made. So that could be a pretty cool location, and it would be out of the way of anybody who had use of the park.
Well, again, let me just throw in, we had
Oh,
3
we
weddings.
got weddings. Yeah.
We had 3 weddings, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday there at the,
Yeah.
so it's not, I'm not negative on this. I'm totally on it. I just want to make sure we coordinate it. That's all.
Okay.
Sure.
Okie dokie. So Mayor's Ball, did you want to add anything else, Bill?
Yeah, again, it's so hard to plan with this COVID-19, but I do want to, Eileen and I spoke about advertising maybe in November. And the reason being is basically I'd be going out looking for sponsors. So don't be surprised if you see advertisements about it, but we'll always put that caveat in there that the date is subject to change due to the COVID-19.
Yeah. Okay. And we'll, Allison, are you on?
Yeah, I was going to say, I reached out to a caterer. I have to get back to her with some answers to a couple questions she had, but it sounds like they might be able to help. So I'll have to answer her questions. I'll have to see what the price point is.
Okay. Just shoot me the information when you have it. That'd be great.
Yep, will do.
Okay. Thank you.
Eileen,
Who's this?
this is Mel. What exactly are you looking for a caterer? I use a bunch of different ones for all the events we do.
We were looking to try to keep it with someone local, but and
yeah, I use only local ones.
Yeah, and we were trying to we tried with Michael's, that was our first choice, but he's a little busy. And we wanted to do something that was a little more upscale, not out of the ballpark, but nice, somebody who did a nice steamship roast beef or something that was a little more impressive than just your basic buffet food that, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Did you have?
Do you know if anybody checked in to see if Casamia would come out and do it? Because I just signed them up to do an event for us in December.
And are they good price?
For sit down dinner, it comes to $30.95.
Wow.
And that include choice between the prime rib, salmon, and chicken marsala.
Nice. I'll give them a call. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Interesting. Okay. Will they bring stuff with them like linens and all of that stuff, or that's probably just added on?
I didn't get into those details because I'm hosting the event up there. If our event goes over the amount of people that we're expecting, we have to find a different location. So we have the possibility of using their food and having a different location.
So they will bring their food somewhere else. I wonder if they need a kitchen. All right. I'll call them.
The big deal, Eileen and Melanie, just the one thing that we have to be very concerned about is the plastic, the plastic fiberglass stuff that they put on the buffet tables if we go buffet.
Right.
And, just in that they have to have enough servers. There's a few COVID things that the governor's guidelines say that we have to abide by.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we can work on that. That's not a big deal. And hopefully we'll find somebody that's.
And now the challenge is for me to get a cheaper price than Melanie got.
There you go, Bill. You're up.
You'll do it. I have faith.
Maybe we'll get a bulk discount, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we can work on that. Next on the agenda was the restock the shelves. And is Robert Blank here? No, right? No. Okay. I was kind of hoping he would take over that because he's very active with the food pantry. Is there anybody else who would be interested in working on a restock the shelves Saturday? Just collecting food. It's a pretty easy job. It's not anything that would be overwhelming if we just do it at the town
I
hall.
can help with that, Eileen.
Okay, nice. Thank you. And you know, it shouldn't be anything that's overly taxing. A few things in the paper, maybe, you know, and a couple signs around and call it a day. That would be a great thing. Okay. Dinner in the park in the summer. We don't really have to look at that today, I don't think. And the historical house tour, we talked about that. Max, you got any luck with the Indian Hill having an open house or anything? Maxwell.
Yep, sorry. I haven't just struggling with my mute button. I haven't been able to nail anything down, but I know they'll definitely want to do some kind of outing or something.
Okay, we're not looking to have like a golf tournament or anything because we don't have the manpower or anything to get it all done. I don't think it happens. But even if they just had an open house day or some kind of event that celebrated the 150th, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be up there tomorrow. I'll try and nail something down with Wayne.
All right, you can do it. I know you can.
Thank you.
No,
Okay.
you don't have any homework, Max?
I do, but work-life balance. I got to get to the golf course a little bit.
I don't know. It's so straight there, buddy. Okay. So we're down to the end there. Anybody have any new business that we need to talk about? Going once, going twice. Anybody have any remarks? Wow, this is wonderful. Okay, so.
Irene, Mike
Yes,
Fox here.
Yes, Michael.
Are we still talking about a parade with either with the fire department, whatever naming it? I think, Bill, you spoke to Fran. You still going to do something about that?
Yeah, I believe the way I left it with him. Sorry about my dogs. Someone's outside. You don't want to break into my house, that's for sure. Let's see. The way I left it with him was that I thought I threw out a number of about $1,000 that we would contribute, and we would call it, the Memorial Day Parade in cooperation with the 150th committee. And I think he seemed to be on board with that. And then maybe have a little get together at Mill Pond Park after, depending on how our budgets are and what money or sponsorships we get. We could have music, we could have ice cream or whatever. So I think generally speaking and conceptually, I think they're on board and I think we're on board, but no details have been finalized, Mike.
Okay, you want me to kind of follow up, just keep an eye on him to
You could keep talking to him and making sure he's okay with it. And if he had an extra $1,000, what special thing can he do for that would help the parade? So
Right.
That way he's getting something out of it and we're getting something out of it.
If there's a band even that he would suggest that, would be good, that would be great, because an extra band in a parade is awesome,
Right.
That would be
can't
good.
go wrong.
Okay. All right. Wow. I don't know who's at your house, Bill, but I wouldn't want to be them.
No, and I'm tucked away in the bathroom with the door closed. So I'll mute myself.
Cameras off. All right. Anybody have anything else? You're doing okay? Motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Mike Fox.
And we're adjourned. Thank you very much. We'll see you next month.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Go Yankees.
Oh, boo.
Yay! Got to win 2 in a row now.
That's right.
Yuck.
How do you leave these stupid things? Let's see.